Helping my fans with their art. Part 1. First off, I want to help with the shoulder anatomy. A tip I would give is to draw the body, then put the clothes on top. This tip would ensure that the anatomy under the clothes is great, and it would be easier to draw wrinkles and shade the clothes. Next, I want to say I love how you drew the eyes and lips. Also, this part of the hair is spiky and the other part is wavy, so those two kind of clash. I would recommend to change it unless that's a specific character design feature. The skin would look better if the outline was darker or the same shade as the darkest shadow. Also, I like how you gave the hair gravity and made it look heavy. Unless the hair is in dreadlocks, it will have more fluff and not be one shape. I am not sure how to explain this, so please see what I'm doing. Also, for the back hair part, it doesn't make sense unless she's underwater and it's flowing. Although it is great to sketch the hair in big clumps when we draw or render them, it's better to break them up a little. I am adding sections to the hair chunks to achieve this, and we can have some loose or flyaway hair for that extra detail. Also, I wanted to mention that I love the color scheme of this drawing because it is cohesive. Now that we've finished adding sections and strands to the hair, we can see it looks more flowy. Also, if this was a more realistic drawing, I would say to draw the head under and give that hair less volume, and to draw the other eye, and to put the hair on top. But this drawing is not trying to be realistic. It's more like anime, and it is a nice style. I like it. Also, the bow should have wrinkles or some sort of texture. Also, for the clothes shading, there is a dark shadow in the middle and it doesn't need to be that dark. When shading, we need to think of the source of the shadow. The shading under the hair should be more diffused, blurred. It is hard to add wrinkles when we don't know the structure underneath. For basically anything in art, it is better to draw the body underneath and then the clothes, hair, etc. on top. Since I don't know if the fabric is thick or thin, or if this is a shirt or jacket or turtleneck, I will add some generic wrinkles. When you don't know how to draw wrinkles, get a reference and use it to help you. Also, the cheekbones need to be at the same level, unless her face is rotated, but it doesn't look like that. Also, based on the nose placement, her face is in 3/4 view, but the eyes and lips make it look like front view. Here is how the face would be laid out if she was front facing. Next, I will show the 3/4 view. Going back to the face outline, I will make it even now. Also, the nose is really high. Normally it is lower. Again, this is a stylistic choice. Do if it's your style, you don't have to. Next, I want to mention that the eye looks different based on which angle you draw it in. Here is a drawing of the front-facing angle and I am now drawing the 3/4 angle. There is a thing in art called the focal point, and it is where you want the viewer to focus on. In portraits, it is most commonly the face, so I am slightly blurring the other features. It is important to not overdo this. Also, I couldn't add these next few tips into the drawing, as they would take too much time or not fit into the drawing. So here they are. First is to use line weight. There are many tutorials online. Also, in future drawings, it is best to establish the light source and to think in 3D. The drawing is already great, but adding more defined lighting would bring it to the next level. Right now this lighting is a little flat. I am assuming the light is coming from the top left. By the way, this is done with a multiply layer on top. I usually use a warm tone gray, but it is up to you. If your character is underwater or at night, you can use a cool gray. I used a warmer color because this is a warm drawing. Adding a big shadow on one layer helps unify everything. Make sure to not overdo the shadows, or else it may look too dark or ruin the vibe of the painting. I will blur some of the shadows, but not too much. You blur on round surfaces and don't blur on sharp edges. This technique is called edge control and it takes a while to be able to edge good. Edging is a really powerful technique in art, so use it wisely. We can add highlights with an add layer on top. Pretend you are standing in the light's point of view. Draw on whatever you can see. For example, I cannot see under the neck or eyebrow ridge, so I will not put light there. Or you can pretend you spill a white liquid of light from where it is and add light wherever the white liquid is. Once again, I used edging. This is the before and after. Thank you to the artist for submitting their art. Please subscribe to see more edging.